I'm alive and okay. So, on the road like I do every day, once or twice a day, because we got no car and got no complaint. And when things pop in my head, I'm just going to start doing this as often as I can. Just go right to live and let it spew out of my stupid mouth. So here we go. Um, this thing, addiction, opioid addiction in America has been, along with all the addictions, has just been stigmatized so badly. People hide from, acknowledging it. You wouldn't hide from acknowledging cancer or diabetes. You would just take it on, head on. There are a litany of options for treatment through medicines, one of which I'm on. And let me remind you that I became addicted to opioids because of an accident. I got hit by a FedEx truck and I got hurt, and then was placed on those for, several months, almost a year. And the physical addiction is incredibly overwhelming. If you've been through withdrawal, you know what I'm talking about. And it leads to having to do things to make yourself feel better so you can go to work and provide for a family. But it's a solvable issue. My mother, God rest her soul, she did this for a living. It was her calling. And her quote was, "It should be as easy to get help as it is to get high." And so I live by that. And though I don't go through a recovery program anymore, I've spent many years in them. I grew up in the NAAA scene. 10 years old, I was going to meetings with my mother. And so I had a lot of prior knowledge of it. And then I went for myself later on in life. And, those things do work for people. But you need more options. People are different. Those things also become a problem for people because you start using the fellowship to replace, when you start feeling bad, you start to want to feel good through encounters with women or the opposite sex, whichever way. So not all people can just go in there and then have a hunky-dory time. They might need a different way of doing things, especially when you're talking about these types of drugs. The way that an addict's brain responds to opioids is different than a non-addict, and that the brain's the big deal. So I don't want to get into all that. I'm not a doctor, but I am a living, breathing evidence that there are treatment plans possible that you can be in that work. Problem for me is I have to come up with, and a lot of people trash the idea of replacement therapy or taking one drug instead of another one, but I know for a fact that what I'm talking about, I'm going to say the name yet. Many of you watching, if you ever see this video, will know what I'm talking about. But that should just be made available. That's it, period. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't do any of that. All it does is take care of your urges, your brain's natural urges that cause you to behave dysfunctionally in order to get yourself feeling a certain way so that you can just manage the world like a regular person. So when we make it harder for people to get to those types of, non-life-threatening medical answers, you just make it more possible for them to go back out and get it from the streets. I got to raise $450 a month to see a doctor, and now I have to do this mostly on foot, odd jobbing it. We're putting in every damn thing we can to try to make ends meet, and it becomes harder and harder every month to come up with my doctor appointment money. Thank God I can get my prescription in partial refills so I can afford it. But it becomes harder and harder every month. And, when you're going through some trying times, at the time really you need it most, it should be more available, you know. And it shouldn't be a rabbit hole to have to go jump down in. This, you know, you call to try to get help and without having to spend money. It's good luck. So, you know, man, addicts they don't have that kind of patience to just jump through all these hoops to get help. They'll just be like, fuck it, I'm calling the dealer. Hope you know, that's the mentality. You know, and it costs less. So I feel like we have to make these, particularly the one I'm on. Now there's another one that has a rap that I believe deserves a bad rap, because that actually makes people somewhat high. My mother was on this particular substitute drug, and I pulled up beside her at a red light to beat the horn and freak her out. You know, she was asleep at a red light, and when I beat the horn, she freaked out, woke up, and hit the gas and shot out into the intersection. She didn't hit anybody, thank God. Goodness, though, you know. So the stuff that I'm on, absolutely the opposite, and not even an effect like I feel like Superman or whatever, when the opioid effect that had on me made me feel like I could just do anything. That's not what I get from the substitute. The substitute allows me to feel just, well, that was a deep feeling. The substitute allows me just to feel undaunted by the worry that I have to find something, and allows me to concentrate on the business of living. So for it to be so hard to get, and for people to be dying every day because they're self-medicating, finding ways to get by in a place called America, you know, that's just wrong, for fuck's sakes. So I'd like to do something about it. All I have right now is a measly YouTube channel, but the more we spread the word, the more we talk to each other, the more help we can be. And perhaps we can even create a movement that will, in the end, make these things, these options, much more available to people, and as easy to get help as it is to get high. I think that is crucial. I think my mom had it right all along on that one. And there's many things I argue with my mom about, but that was one thing it literally has become my own battle cry. And I'm not a perfect person by any stretch of anyone's imagination. I intend that when people start to follow our channel, they're going to think I might be the most imperfect person in the history of YouTube. But I'm not going to be afraid to put that on here either, because I'm living life in front of you. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and please spread the word. I'm here for you, and thank you for being there for me.